You can get tabs for this lesson if you go to my website, www.erichaugenguitar.com. Let me briefly talk about the equipment I'm using to make the sounds I'm making. This is a early 2000s Epiphone Emperor Regent, affordably priced hollow body jazz guitar, stock pickup, little bass cut switch has been installed after the fact, which I do have on right now. I think I'll leave it on. I'm going into my board, using my Strymon Deco for a little bit of compression, and my Strymon Flint for a little bit of reverb. Thank you to Rode Microphones for helping me out with this NTR ribbon microphone. It's a very good sounding mic. Oh, this is a early 60s Silvertone 1484. Now, let's learn. The first thing we need to do to play this arrangement is understand the Bossa Nova groove that the song is based on, which the Bossa Nova groove is... Let me break that down for you. So essentially, let's take our thumb, this is a fingerstyle arrangement, and yeah, so this is, we're going to kind of go back a few steps. What we got here, let's go. That's your basic bossa pattern. Now, let's go ahead and challenge ourselves by taking these three fingers up top and getting those open three strings. This is basically an E minor bossa pattern. I think you can see my hand. This would be a good practice. Let me slow that down. Now that's a great thing to sit around and do while watching TV at the end of the day, or in the middle of the day, or in the morning, whenever. Now, to make it a little more interesting, let's go ahead and add the fifth. So that would change our thumb, well, yeah, the fifth of the chord. Oh, by the way, capo 3, standard tuning, flat wound 12s are the strings I'm using. 0 and 2. That's a little more the classic bossa groove now. That's a C major 7 chord, by the way. All you do is you take a C chord, take the pointer finger off, great jazz chord. Yeah, let's look at that one. So I'm going to be going. That's not in the song. Oh yeah, it is in the song. But I was just trying to show you the different sounds. A great thing to practice that. Final phase of bossa nova before I actually get into the arrangement is if you try and do the full clave pattern, because there's a cool polyrhythm thing built into bossa nova. You know, I'm not a bossa nova expert, but what you have is you have that bass line going, and and the upper side is supposed to be going. My Latin American and Spanish viewers probably know this stuff way better than I do. What can I say? So if we combine the two, let me slow it down to be a good guitar teacher. Let me turn the angle so you can kind of see this hand a little better. That's vaguely my skill set before I took this arrangement. I was like, this song is a kind of bossa groove, you know, a cool, you know, Steely Dan take on it. So that's what I'm trying to do with my thumb. Now let me get into my actual arrangement. So that's like the warm-up, the prelude to the arrangement. Actual arrangement, here we go. Okay, let's see. What's the first thing I do? Oh, the little, it's actually a piano fill. That's just a blues fill. 2 slides up to 4 to 3. Notice how I'm using those fingers, and then 0 up top. Just a great lick to know regardless. And then I transcribed as best I could Donald Fagen's little piano riff. Let's look at that. That's 2 and 3, 0 and 0, 3 and 3. That's all it is. The challenge is combining that with a bossa bass line. Let me slow that down as best I could and turn a little bit. Now notice I do a, I hit with the nails, flicking out on that second downbeat, yeah. You don't have to. Let me see if I can do it without that. I have to. It just feels more natural for me to flick. I don't know where I picked that up from. I guess I'm an okay clawhammer banjo player sometimes, and I guess that I started doing that from the clawhammer technique, and it kind of worked its way into my guitar technique. So it does that several times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3 times, and then a big old B minor 7 chord. 2, 4, well, pointer fingers flat. Notice also, I don't flatten across. It's a root 5 chord. 2, 4, 2, 3, 2. Very 70s chord. So that's that figure. Then we're at the melody. So this is cool. It's a melody that's a blues with one additional tone. It has a ninth on top, that note. Really cool note to add to your blues scale. You know, without turning it all the way into a minor scale, you just add one more. So coming from that B minor 7, I actually grab that B, but you know, capo, it's not a B, but we'll call it a B, that is on my, you know, counting from the capo 4 with my pinky. There it is, 4, 0, 0, 5, 5, 4, 2, 3, and then a little 4, 2, 0, 2. Notice that little articulation there, 1 fret slide into that 2. In general, I'm a big fan of those for getting a little bit of jazziness into the playing. Does that 4 times, and again, the challenge is trying to do that while your thumb is going. Notice I'm actually using these two fingers. I use my thumb for the low one and my middle finger for that, and yeah, you can see I'm slapping on the downbeats, which is a whole third thing. Let's not even worry about that. If that happens and you can do it, kudos to you, that's awesome. It's just something that my hand wants to do. I don't know why, but I'm thankful for it. Yeah, you can use your pointer finger. I use my middle finger just because, I don't know, it seems, I guess, you know what, neural connector wise, it's like, you know, they're all bundled up right here. This one is a little further than that one, whereas this one's right over here. So it's a little easier for me to get independence between these two a lot of times, where these two are like, they're really tangled. Let me slow it down and be a good guitar teacher. There it is, slowed down. Then we're at the chorus. There's the melody. Blues notes, yeah. 2-0-0, 2-4-2-0-2, with the chords, which are A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, 3, 5, 4, 5, flat. Love that chord too. Very great 70s chords. Back, jack, do it again. Wheel turning round and round. You go back, jack, do it again. Let's break it down. So, to combine the melody with the chords, back, 0-2-0, jack, 2-4-2. You know, only the lower portion of that C major 7, 3, 5, 4. Immediately slide out. Back to that B minor 7, and then does it again. Different melody this time, still out of that C major 7 shape. 4, 3, 5, back to that B minor 7, and then you're back around. Now let me show you again with the picking. Kind of got to slow that one down. I'd pull the tempo back a couple of clicks right there, just because it's hard for me to play. And then back to. And then as I fade the video out, I kind of try my best. A wrong note. I'm looking just for kind of Dorian, a review of the Dorian scale. 0-2-3, 0-2-4, 0-2-4, 0-2-4, 0-2-3, 0-2-3. The radical solo that I'm going to have to transcribe at one point that Denny Diaz takes is roughly out of Dorian with some flatted fifths, some blues stuff. I know there's like a... You can tell I haven't transcribed it yet. So what I'm doing there actually at the fade, I'm trying to keep that rhythm going. So yeah, that's a blues lick, and you know, variations, you know, I'll just, when I found a rhythm that I can do, I'll just kind of move it up. You know, I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'll leave that to you. My advice would be, try and find a phrase that you can do on 1 or 2 strings and kind of move it around the blues scale or the Dorian scale. Another great thing to do for a long period of time while watching TV. I guess that's like the secret to my success. I mean, that's what I did all growing up. I would come home from school, put on MTV or Comedy Central, watch a lot of Kids in the Hall, and play guitar. And so that's why I always recommend that. I get really bored if I sit in a silent room and have to practice. Scales, I just would rather just like, I don't know, I get lonely, I guess, if it's just a quiet room. I like having something on in the background. Hey, you could put me on in the background, same difference. I think that's all I can cover for this for now. I hope that is helpful for you. Very cool song. Rest in peace, Walter. Is it Walter Becker? It's not Brecker. No, it's Becker. Yeah, great band. And I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.